Welcome to The Ice is Right. Hello everybody and welcome to the #1 primetime game show, The Ice is Right. The show where contestants win credits by guessing how much ice is in stuff. I'm your host, AndrewmanGaming, and today we've got a lovely set of contestants for you. All the way on the right we've got Nab, left of her that's DE, and all the way on the left is BB. Now you know the contestants, let's get right into the game. Our first item today, starting off pretty easy. How many cubes of ice are in this glass? DE.
There are 14 pieces of ice in that glass.
Not a bad guess, but not good enough. Nab.
I'm gonna guess 15 cubes.
Congratulations, you are right on the money. That's 5,000 credits for you. Next round a bit more challenging, and this one's from the audience. How many kilograms of ice are in a standard Europa? Don't everyone answer at once. DE.
There are many billions of kilograms of ice in Europa.
Ooh, I'm afraid we're going to need an exact answer for that. Nab?
27,002,006.
Whoa, that is very exact, but is it exactly correct? BB, what you got?
Probably 3.29 quadrillion kilograms of ice. Just off the top of my head.
Also extremely exact, I can appreciate that. But the correct answer is... Hang on, I'm getting word that we don't actually know how much ice is in a Europa. Let's go to break and we'll be right back.
Attention, if you or a loved one was diagnosed with marsothelioma...
What is up guys, my name is Andrew and welcome to Space Busters, the Space Engineer series where we test the limits, or in this case, find out random things about the game. This episode is special because we've been contracted by the famous hit TV show, The Ice is Right, to find out just how much ice is on Europa. They're currently on a commercial break, so we're on a bit of a time limit, and because of that, and totally not because of the game's mining limitations, we can't just mine out the entire planet and call it a day. That would take forever. But don't worry guys, because I have got a plan. You see, we don't actually have to mine out the whole planet to know how much ice is in it. All we have to do is mine a set volume of ice, count up how much we got, and then compare that with the volume of Europa as a whole to get a decent estimate of how much ice is inside. So with that said, welcome to the ice testing zone. That's very glitchy and looks kind of crazy and very ominous actually, now that I look at it. What we have here is a set of variously large what's a three pair? What's a pair but three of them instead of two? Thrair. It's a thrair. From now on, it's a thrair. We have a bunch of variously sized thraires of cubes here that we're going to somehow use to determine how much ice is in Europa. Can you figure out how that works? If you can go ahead and skip this explanation. If you cannot, don't worry. Quick explanation incoming. Well, it's more of an analogy, actually. Okay, first imagine that you have two jars that are filled to the brim with marbles. One is a normal-sized jar, and the other can hold 10 times the number of marbles as the normal-sized one. If you were able to count the number of marbles that are in the smaller jar, would you be able to estimate the number of marbles that are in the larger one? Well, of course you would. Since you know that the larger jar holds 10 times the number of marbles, you can estimate that if the smaller one held, let's say, 30 marbles, then the larger one would likely hold 300. Now, take that concept and apply it to Europa. In this case, all of these cubes here are our small jars, and Europa is our large jar. By mining and counting up all of the ice in these small jars, we can go ahead and estimate how much ice will be in our large jar, which is, of course, the whole moon. Now, I do hear you asking, why are there so many small jars of ice? Why won't one cube simply suffice? And I am suddenly Dr. Seuss. Well, my friends, allow me to show you my first attempt at making this video. Behold, the hole of destiny. The first time I wanted to do this, I tried making one giant hole, but it turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I thought it would. Still, I did end up getting some pretty satisfying footage out of it. At the end of all that mining, I discovered that somehow, some way, about half of the ice was missing. And of course, since I put all my eggs in one gigantic basket, I didn't actually have anything to compare this with. So I didn't have a second hole to be like, oh, those numbers are different than these numbers. So essentially I had no idea if those numbers were correct. So welcome to take 2 of our mining adventure, where we're going to be mining these cubes. So what we have here, we have 3 10 by 10 by 10 cubes. We have 3 20 by 20 by 20 cubes. 3 30 by 30 by 30 cubes, 40 by 40 by 40, and 50 by 50 by 50. So what we're going to do is we're going to mine these, and we're going to average up the amounts of ice that we get. So this one averaged with this one, averaged with this one, is going to give us a more accurate representation than just this one, for example. Finally, we're going to use that amount of ice to estimate how much ice is in Europa. We're going to do that for the 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and we'll get an average for that. And that should be a pretty accurate number of how much ice is inside Europa. At least if all of ours are kind of generally the same place with no crazy outliers, we should be able to say, all right, that's pretty accurate. All right, so step 1 is going to be mine up the ice. Let's go ahead and create some miners to mine these. This one's going to be really easy, but it's going to get harder and harder as the areas get larger and larger. All right, we've set up a miner for the 10 by 10 by 10s. It's pretty much just one piston with a bunch of different drills. None of these are connected to each other, so they each should go into their own thing. And once it's done, we should have similar numbers for all of these. Okay, so step 1, let's turn on the drills. Any drill that we have here, we'll turn it on. Oh, that's so loud. Okay. Pistons. All right, now it's going down. Now, I guess let's watch. All right, it looks like that's the end of it. Let's go ahead and turn off our drills and we'll count up the number of ice that we've got in there. I hope they're around the same. And I hope they actually fit in one thing. I think they will, though. Because it's not actually that much ice. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to turn on my crosshair. There we go. All right, what have we here? We have 1,152K in there. We have 1,158K in there. And we have 1,157K there. All very similar. This one's the lower one, that one's the higher one, that one's really close to the high one. Let's go ahead and average those, and we'll move on to the 20s. All right, here's our mining apparatus for our 20 by 20 by 20s. This one maybe cause a little bit more clang because it's much larger. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Drills. Activate. Pistons. Descend.
No energy.
We have no energy, apparently. There we go. Pistons descend. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let this work itself out, and we'll spectate from here, I guess. Oh, hang on. Unspectate. Unspectate. I made a mistake. Drills, drills, drills. I'm not fast enough. I'm not fast enough. Dang it. Maybe I am. No, I'm not. Man. Okay, I need to raise the pistons. Okay, so I made a mistake with this. I did not add enough drills on this one. Alright, back to spectating. We'll spectate from here. Alright, I think that one's done as well. Yeah, they're all done. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off the drills and check them out. Alright, now for this, I'm actually going to sever this right here. So these are not part of the thing anymore. Okay, I'm going to sever that, and I'm going to sever these as well. This reason, any connected ones that I can see, they're on their own grid, so I can see all the ones that are connected. I don't have to worry about naming or anything. We can just see if we can just see. Wait, hang on. Oh, we can see the drills as well. Okay, this has 8,991,000 ice. Over here we have 9,000. Yeah, 9,000 ice. And over here we have, well, 9,000K rather. And over here we have 9,049K. All right, that's all actually pretty similar. Let's go ahead and run those into our thing, get an average, and then we'll go on to 30s. All right, moving on over to the 30 by 30 by 30s. I think I can try this same method here, but I think beyond that, we're gonna have to do them individually. So let's go ahead and try it. All right, this one's a little bit larger. Gosh. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and turn it on and see how this works. Alright, that sounds the end of this one. Let's go ahead and turn off the drills. And we're starting to get a little bit of lag, so I think that's the last time we can do all three of them together. Drill. Turn you guys off. And we'll disconnect the piston as well. Boop. Alright, let's check them out. Going into the first one, we have a nice cargo. There we go. We have two 11Ks and a 7.5. Alright, we'll add that up. Let's see what we have in here. Should have roughly the same stuff. Cargo. We have two 11Ks and a 7.5. Okay, that's roughly the same. And finally in this one we have cargo. Two 11Ks and a 7.4. Alright, let's add these up and get an average. Alright, moving on to the 40 by 40 by 40s. Now these ones might be a little harder because I don't know how much cargo they're going to take. This one took 1, this one took 2, but it really took 1. This one took 3. So if we're like, it's kind of squared, I guess. Or cubed, actually, isn't it? Let's make a bunch. How about that? That's the plan. I actually do wonder, can we do the... We might be able to manage with this thing. The 3. Let's try it. Let's try the 3. Alright, this one's probably going to be a disaster, but... good lord, these ones look like miniature compared to this. Alright, let's turn it on.
No energy.
I don't care if I have no energy. Alright, that took a little bit longer than normal, but let's go ahead and turn them off, and I believe we can start counting them up. First of all, I want to make sure we don't have any ice inside our drills. That would be an issue. Ice. It does not look like we have any inside our drills. That's good. Okay, let's go ahead and count these up. God. What has happened to you guys? I guess they're, I guess since all the ice is on one side, it's tilted because of that, but, no matter. Oh, wait, you know what? No. Hang on. That's why. Well. Ah, yes. Okay, so I see we've encountered claying. Yep, there it goes. Why, though? Why is that happening? I don't understand. Let me disconnect. Disconnect. Where's the connection? Connection. I need to disconnect the all this stuff. I don't know why it's decided to clang itself into there. Ah, here we go. It's coming back down. Sweet. I don't know what's wrong with this. I just need to we have block damage turned off, so I'm not too worried. But I just need to disconnect these so they don't clang anymore. There we go. And then I need to disconnect this baby right here. Nope, not that. This red one. Yep. There we go. Okay. I'll just go ahead and let them land real quick. Let them sort that themselves out. I'll go ahead and disconnect the red piece right here as well. There we go. So that's just going to disconnect our what I suspect to be clanging here versus our actual connector things. Okay. Let me just real quick check that there's no ice in here. I want to make sure all hide empty. Okay, yeah, they're all empty. We can go ahead and delete them. And then this as well, I think probably is the same case. All hide empty. Go ahead and delete. Finally, you. You. Ding, ding, ding. Man. Alright guys, have no fear. I managed to get them tamed. I don't know what was causing the clang. Something with maybe the miners or something. But I was able to get the miners separated from the actual cargo containers, and block damage is turned off. So we have no more clang issues, and we can go ahead and count these up. Let's go ahead and take a look. Hop inside here. We want to hide empty, and we'll count them up. So we have I'm counting the full ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full, plus a little bit of extra. Let's check this one over here. We have hide empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full, plus a little bit of extra of the same rough amount. And then check this one over here. We're just making sure we don't have any discrepancies in them. Any crazy differences. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a little bit of extra of roughly the same amount. All right, I'm gonna go voice crack. I'm gonna go put these in my spreadsheet that I'm running alongside this with, and then I'll start on the 50s, which I'm really looking forward to because those are gonna be fun. Game, no. Game! Bouquet! No! I think we're good though. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. This was before the clang. This brought me back before the clang. No! I'm too late! Ah! I had a chance! I had a chance to stop it and I'm too late! Oh, come on. We have one more chance. We have one more chance. Yes! That's one. Another one. Sever! 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 Okay. I'll wait for that to come back down. And then finally, let's get you guys out of here. And then you. Yes! Okay. Whew! Whew! Wow. Alright, we'll let them crash down. Block damage is turned off again, so don't worry about this. It's fine. I'm pretty sure there's nothing on here that I need to worry about. So let's go ahead and delete this. And then this we can delete as well. It's the same thing. Yeah. I don't know where the other one's over there. Okay. Alright, time for the 50s. We're going to do one at a time with these ones because I don't want to go through that again. So one at a time, we'll just go up like so. And we'll, yeah. And then we'll go down. All right, here's our first 50 by 55 50. All set up. Lots and lots of drills. Lots and lots of cargo containers. I actually really hope this is enough. Okay. Technically required 1, 1, 3, 7. What would come after that? What's next in the sequence? 1, 1, 3, 7, 14, 15 maybe? We definitely have enough here. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. Alright, we are back. The 50 has been mined, except for whatever the heck this is. I'm sure this won't actually matter in the grand scheme of things.
Energy.
Okay, it doesn't look like this one's at any risk of tipping over. Well, let me just, it does seem to be hopping a little bit. Let me just go ahead and get rid of these. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and count this up. Check these out. Hide empty. Alright, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 full, and then an empty one or then a partially full one as well. Let's go ahead and add that, and then we'll move on over. Alright, for this one I decided to do one piston for both of them, because it takes a long time to get them to actually work. So, let's get it going. Our last mining of the day! All right, we are back. The 50 by 50 by 50s have been done. Now, I did notice that this one I may have missed part of the side, and unfortunately, I couldn't actually stop it because this is too heavy for the pistons to even pull up. But luckily, we don't have all our eggs in one basket, like I was saying earlier in the video, so it should be fine. We'll just use 2 calculations instead of 1, and as long as they're similar, we'll be good. Okay, let's go ahead and count. Okay, that one's the one we're not going to use, actually. This one's the one we are going to use. So let's go ahead and count these up as well. It should be roughly similar to what we had, which was 12 full and then 1 extra. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with a little bit of extra. All right, they're very similar. Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and throw these in the spreadsheet, and then finally I will unveil the spreadsheet so we can all see, and we will determine just how much ice is on Europa. Okay, everybody, behold the final spreadsheet. This is what I've been using to do the calculations and everything. So let me just walk you through it real quick. We have Europa Calculations over here in the darker colors. So we calculated the diameter by measuring a couple different points on the moon. just so we could account for those hills and those valleys. We got an average diameter. Right, so on the wiki it does say that Europa is 19 kilometers in diameter, but from all the measurements that I got, this is what I got for the average of just those couple of measurements there. If I wanted to be more accurate, I could like double the number of measurements I took and that sort of thing. So from that I get the radius, from that I get the volume of Europa just by using 4/3 times pi r cubed. And then of course over here we have the calculations for the actual cube areas. So I have cube A, B, and C for the 10 by 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Then I have the average of the three. Then I have the volume of the area. I have the volume compared to Europa, which as you can tell is a very, 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 very small number. And then finally I have the estimated ice on Europa given the compared to Europa volume and the average number of ice that I got. Finally, I've gone ahead and calculated the final estimate, which gives us 4.16 quadrillion. I think that's quadrillion. We have thousand, million, billion, trillion, quadrillion. Yeah, 4.16 quadrillion kilograms of ice inside Europa. That is a lot of ice. That is more than you could store ever. the whole of Europa. No, that's a crazy amount of ice, for real. All right, finally, after all of that mining, we know the amount of ice that is inside Europa. Again, it's an estimate because I mean it's what I think to be a pretty accurate estimate based on the mining that we did here today. But it is still an estimate because you see all these valleys and things right here inside the that are around the moon. So it's hard to account for this sort of thing right here. However, the estimate should be pretty good for at least the likes of the ice is right. I do want to say as well, at the start of the video I did say that this was the first attempt that we did right here. What I got for here was 2 quadrillion kilograms of ice, which is nothing compared to what we got here, which is why I said we had about half of the ice missing from what I expected. So since these numbers actually match what I expected, it's a good sign, you know? It is a good sign. Look at the wasteland of just miners and stuff. Good lord. With a nice Mars in the background. That's actually a nice thumbnail. Okay, let's message back to the ice is right. That 4.16 quadrillion is the amount of ice that's inside Europa. If they need an exact answer, I would say it's 4 quadrillion, 161 trillion, 597 billion, 678 million, 588,960 kilograms of ice. But of course, that's just an estimate. If you guys are interested in trying this out for yourselves, I do encourage you to post your results down in the comments below. If you have any other methods for trying to figure out how much ice is in Europa, save for actually mining the entire moon, post those down in the comments below too, because those would be interesting to see. I know one of my friends was talking about using density, like the density of water, and then trying to measure out the... He got a similar answer to what I got, so it's a kind of cool method. But anyways, back to you on the Ice is Right.
And welcome back to The Ice is Right. That was a long commercial break, but following some technical difficulties, we finally have the answer to how much ice is in a standard Europa. The correct answer is 4.16 quadrillion kilograms of ice. Congratulations, BB, you were the closest by far. That's an easy 10,000 credits for you, putting you in the lead. But Nab and D have a chance to catch up with this next question. Just how much ice does it take to run an engine?
Before I end this video, I want to give you guys a little bit of bonus information that I got while I was making the video. So you know all that ice that's inside Europa? Well, what would happen if we were to convert that to hydrogen and oxygen? How much would there be? Well, please allow me to show you. So the amount of hydrogen and oxygen that you get is the same for any given amount of ice. You get the same amount of hydrogen and oxygen roughly. Here's what I calculated. So if you were to take the 4.16 quadrillion kilograms of ice that we estimated to be inside Europa and convert that to hydrogen and oxygen, you would come out with 20.36 quadrillion liters of each of the two gases. Now that's a huge number. How much exactly is that? Well, if you were to try and bottle that up and store all the hydrogen inside hydrogen containers, you would need to have 4 billion containers of hydrogen to store all of that. And if you were to do the same with oxygen, you would need to have 203 billion containers of oxygen because they're a lot smaller. Now again, those are really large numbers. How do we visualize? Well, first let's take a look at our hydrogen cube that I built over here. Let me get over here to our cube position so we can see the full cube kind of. So this is a hydrogen cube. Those are all hydrogen containers in there. Now I tried to fill this in, but it started lagging tremendously, so I was not able to. But But imagine this whole cube was filled in, and also the inside of the cube was also filled in with containers. Now to show you the density of this, check this out. Those are all hydrogen containers. 3x3x3s. Gigantic hydrogen containers. They look like ants when we zoom out to this. So this is a cube. Now this is how much you would need if you were to convert all of the hydrogen. No, I'm just kidding. You would actually need 4,072 of these to contain all of the hydrogen in Europa. 4,072! That's insane. That's an insane amount of containers. That is so much that I couldn't even do a face without the game lagging to heck. Imagine trying to do the whole cube, much less 4,000 of them. Jeez. Now if we go down to our oxygen cube, which I made over here, now let me show you the, this is the cube here. Imagine that cube was filled in and then it was stuff inside. Let me show you the density as well of this so we can see how packed in these things are. So many. How many of these do you think we're going to need? Well, they're a lot smaller, so you'll need a lot more. In fact, you'll need 203,000 cubes of this size. That's insane. Whew, there's so much ice. I mean, look, the moon's not even that big. You can already see the curvature from here, from how high we are. It's so much. You need so much. All right, guys, that was the little bit of bonus information that I wanted to give you guys, just in case you were wondering what would happen if you were to try and convert it to hydrogen and oxygen. If you guys liked the video, please hit the like button, put your comments and your suggestions down below in the comments section, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Space Busters.